Not to mention, I don't know if you felt this way. Two things. So obviously we saw as soon as the camera panned up to show the Sky Islands, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
now this is something new. Now let's explore that. But the way that you get to the Sky Islands, it makes sense. I get it. Like
Yeah.
you go.
The rewind was a really creative way to get there. I was not
Yeah.
expecting that. That was really creative.
Did you feel like it took too long though? Like
I thought it was fun.
I have a feeling that it'll be something that could get pretty annoying after a while. Like the first time you do it, like the first time you find like a rock, you're like, oh snap, I gotta go explore. You run to it, you do the whole ascend thing, and you go up. But that process of going up is gonna take a little bit because that switch needs to load, baby. That switch cannot handle that pressure.
No, I think it can actually. I think it's literally the only problem is just distance. Like it's just actually moving that distance.
Yeah. Well, then nonetheless, did you also? I felt like even when you were falling down, I was like, oh, this is gonna take a while.
Falling down, I actually did like a lot. Especially because there was an accelerate feature. So like when you finally found your spot, you can accelerate and you moves fast down. I like that a lot. But more importantly, I thought it was very just gorgeous because Skyward Sword would try to do that.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid and I played that and I jumped off the first time, I was like, oh, this is just me jumping into like a bunch of clouds. And then when I pick a destination, I just get animated towards that. What the fuck? This is the first Zelda game where it actually feels like, okay, now I'm actually free falling. And you can see, I was really impressed. You can see everything. Nothing was like by the way, fuck Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This really does prove that the Switch could have handled that game. And those motherfuckers rushed it.
Yeah.
Because the fact that Link was free falling, I can see all of Hyrule was gorgeous to me. I love that a lot. Me personally, I feel like I'll never get tired of it, especially because the acceleration feature's there. I don't know if you remember, but in the 10 minutes gameplay, like they free falled for a good while, and then they finally hit accelerate.
That I want to know how the acceleration looks like if you started from the beginning. Like I just want to know how that entire process, how long that process takes.
I feel like it won't be that long, in my opinion.
I hope not. And I only say this just because I feel like it'll be really cool the first couple of times. But once you're like your 100th time doing it, you're definitely gonna be like, okay, like, get there already. That's the only thing that I'm thinking of. Like I know the first couple of times I'm gonna be like, oh yeah. But that's the only thing I'm worried about.
The rewind, I think I can agree with you where that one may be a problem if it feels slow because you're just standing.
Yeah, and
but free
it's
falling,
not like picking a location either. It's sort of like,
you're literally just in an elevator.
Yeah, exactly.
But free falling, I feel like I can't get tired of it just because it's visually stunning and like I can move a little bit. But riding an elevator is never gonna be fun. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And another point of like feeling bummed was just I didn't feel like the Sky Islands that they showed us were like too visually distinct either. Like they were just still grassy plains, and I was just like, oh, like.
I have to disagree with you there, because
really,
dude, I'm a fucking stan. I was going frame by frame. On this video. If you overlook the Sky Islands, if you stop the video when he's doing that, you can see a lot of really different type of islands. There was one island that was a complete square cube. I was like, that's fucking interesting. There was like a spherical one that like I don't even understand like how like you land on a pure ball. Like what's the approach to that one? There was another one that was really, really interesting that I liked a lot. That was an island that was covered in smoke completely. And I was like, is that like you can't enter yet, or do you have to like have like a fan or something, or like some wind element to enter it? Also, the island that we landed on, I don't know if you peeped, there were a lot of shrines and a lot of like structures that he kept avoiding on purpose. Like he would come to an enemy and then that would bring him closer to the shrine, so then he would turn away and run away from the shrine because he's not trying to show what that looks like. So I really do feel like they're like they're hiding a lot of things, dude. There were a lot of shrine like towers and like structures. I'm like, go there, show me what the fuck. Go there. Yeah,
right. I'm looking through the gameplay and you're definitely correct. Like there's definitely a bunch of times that he's just kind of like the camera is kind of pointing away at something. So I definitely agree with you there, or I definitely see your point. I still think that whatever we saw, like the things that they did intentionally try to show us weren't too. I still think that it's still not too visually distinct. But I see.
Yeah, what we saw for sure, like we didn't see anything fucking wild.
Yeah. But they're definitely trying to hide something, and I just got the overall impression from this trailer that there's so much. Like, the reason why they gave us only the tutorial level stuff, at least I'm hoping, and I know you're hoping, is that there's so much in the game that they still want to just be, like, leave as
brand new to
surprises.
us.
Yeah.
Because he even said, like, I'm very confident that some of you are watching this thought to yourself, wait, if you can do that, you can probably do this. I guarantee you that there's a lot of things you're thinking of right now that you could probably do in the game if it makes sense to. I'm like, okay, based off that you're hiding some shit, I'm really praying this is you guys being really coy about it. Because Josue, if this game comes out, right, and it turns out that the gameplay we saw was the actual upper limit of everything, not only will this episode age terribly, but the hype for this game is going to be dog shit, bro.
No way. I do think there has to be so much more. There's no way. There's 6 years, and that's what they give us. And also, I will say that, remember how the Tears of the Kingdom is only a thing because it was originally going to be DLC, and the DLC ideas were getting too out of hand.
Yeah, so they were like, fuck it, sequel.
Yeah, might as well just be mechanics for a sequel. It feels like everything that was shown off here was that, like, what was like the DLC original, like, ideas.
What we were kind of fucking with, or what we were thinking of.
Exactly, and then they were like, "Oh, this is too big for it." So I'm hoping, because these are things that just feel like they were like original Breath of the Wild planned.
Yeah,
Sky Island's definitely not. Like, obviously these are sequel.
No, Sky Island's definitely like the part where they're like, all right, story. What are we thinking for the story for this one? And they start like hooking something up.
Exactly, but the gameplay features so far, like, yeah. Even the, how do you feel about the Ascend feature?
I was just about to talk about that. I love the Ascend feature.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with the Ascend feature, dude, there's a good chance, I know this for a fact, there's going to be so many parts in the game where I feel like you're going to big brain and be like, oh, instead of climbing, I'm just going to use Ascend. And you're going to ascend, and when you ascend, you're going to be in a place you should not be. Surrounded by tough-ass enemies or in a cold environment. You're like, oh, no. I messed up. I got to get out.
Okay, I hope that doesn't happen too often, because that's OD. That'd be so OD. I can see that happening. But
You see what I mean? Yeah. Like, what were the name of the... Oh, I always forget their names. The lie...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those things. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the enemies are arguably tougher than Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Like, ascending in front of that's like, dog.
I know, yeah. Then you're screwed over, bro. Like, where do you go? Where do you run from that? It's not like there's a fucking descend feature.
Yeah, no, you're just stuck.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was cool, but what got me like, whoa, what? Was when you're in a cave and you can still do it. That's what got me like, there's no way. That's crazy.
Literally any size of a cave, you're good. Which also I think is really cool because it really incentivizes you to like really explore every cave. It's like really go down every cave. It's like, oh, you want to ascend and go in there and find out what's in the cave, and like maybe you'll ascend to a nice area above.
Especially since I wonder if there'll be some caves that sort of have like, okay, like you enter the cave at one point and there's obviously like a top of the cave, but like what if it's only some areas of the down below part like can access a middle part, if that makes sense.
That's what you mean. Where like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Where you ascend and you don't end up being at the outside world. Like you're still in the mountain. Exactly. So like, wait, where the fuck am I right now?
Exactly.
That would be sick.
That's where I think there's a lot. That was the one biggest part of the trailer. That's the trailer. Whatever this is, the demonstration.
The gameplay.
That was the part to me that made me go, yo, there's a lot you can do here. That's something.
Yeah.
There.
For me, if we're talking about the biggest things, I agree with you. Ascend was huge. For me, the biggest thing was the constructs. So,
what, really?
The constructs. First of all, I like the design a lot. Then they're pretty like kind of like cool, fun to look at, and I feel like there's gonna be like seeing how they're structured. I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of them because like it looks like they're kind of like Lego pieces held up by like some energy. But the reason why I love the constructs so much is multiple things. One, they're made out of Zonai tech. Yeah. So like they have that Zonai green to them, right? Now, we know Link also has the same thing on his hands. So it's finally canon. We finally got confirmation that Link's hand is Zonai tech. So I'm really curious because the contracts were the biggest takeaway for me because why are we fighting Zonai tech? And how did Link get hands on Zonai tech? Because I thought initially when, you know, we saw the hand, the rumors already started that, oh, this is Zonai technology. That was already a rumor day one. So the rumor was like, you know, Link used Zonai tech to do something, to fight Ganon, yada yada. But now we're fighting them too. So I'm so like, my mind started churning like, where does Zonai come into this? Were they revived by Ganon? Is Ganon using them now to like fight against Hyrule? I never thought we'd fight that tech using the same tech. That one was like the biggest like, oh, where's this going now? And it looks like you can collect Zonai cores, or I think they're called Zonai cores. Yeah. And I'm wondering, what does that do? Like, is that an attachment you can add to items to like do an electrical shock or something, or is that like something you build armor with, kind of like how we did with the Guardians? I like the Zonai core adds a lot. Where I'm like, okay, now we're not only do we have the Link Zonai arm, but it looks like we're gonna be building more Zonai tech, which is fucking sick. So that got me really, really excited. I don't know where that's gonna go. Also, I noticed the bow. I don't know if you noticed the bow Link had also was Zonai tech. The bow was green.
That I didn't notice.
Yeah, his bow was Zonai tech, and I'm just like, okay, it looks like he constructed that using Zonai cores, I'm assuming, or he found it. I don't know. The theories can go on and on at this point. All I know is it looks like they're prevalent in the Sky Island, and I really want to know why. I'm so curious on what the hell this means.
Even the bow looks just completely different too. Like, looks like way more advanced compared to what we saw in the first game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that looks like it's definitely made with that tech. And I don't know if he found it like that. He made it with the cores. Like, I have so many questions about this tech because it looks fucking sick.
Listen, I hate myself because all I can think about is some Pokemon Coliseum joint where the main character broke in and stole that freaking arm thing, like, and then he just was able to steal Pokemon. So obviously that's not gonna.
I hate you, bro.